guys, it's Jordan, and so today's tutorial is how to make a really cute drawstring bag with your old PE shirt. I thought this was a great idea for maybe you're going to a new school and you don't know what to do with your old PE shirt. So first you're going to need a PE shirt, and I guess it doesn't have to be a PE shirt, it can just be a regular t-shirt if you want, but that's why I have blue tape on mine because it says my school name right there in the front, and so I just wanted to cover that up. Then you're going to need some fabric transfers, a pen, some fabric scissors, and for the next part you can use some old t-shirts or even some shoelaces. And lastly, a hot glue gun. So start by drawing out a straight line right where the sleeve ends, and then use your scissors to cut it out. First, start by turning your shirt inside out, and then you're going to want to lay it flat and then put your hand up in the middle of it and pull it up so that either side goes in, and then lay the top part over it again. I'm sorry, this probably makes no sense, but then just kind of try to even it out and make it so that all the sides lay even and the two center sides should almost be touching each other. So just hopefully if you can watch, you'll kind of understand how it is. This may take some time, but just try to make sure and get everything all straight and flat, and so there are no wrinkles and it's completely flat and straight, and both of the edges should match up perfectly. If the end that doesn't have the seam is uneven, you can cut that to make it straighter. Then just use your hot glue gun to glue between each of the flaps, and make sure to glue every single flap because there should be a few layers on each side. Also glue in between each of the corners and creases so that there are no holes in your bag. Also, don't forget to glue the flaps together. The next part, you can either use your shoelaces or anything else you may have for this, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to show you the t-shirt method because that one's the hardest. Start by cutting your t-shirt into as many strips as you may need. I think I did 6, and I used 2 different colors. I used a lighter green and a darker green. And when I was done with each strip, I made sure to tug it so that it would roll up like this, and then I got 3 of the strips and tied them together and just started braiding and braided it all the way down. Since I wanted mine to be longer, I tied some strips together to make them longer. Once you're done braiding the whole thing, just make sure to tie a knot and you're ready to move on to the next part. First, turn your bag right side in. Then find where you want to be the middle of your bag and cut down one side of the seam. That should open up a hole that goes all the way around your bag, and then taking a safety pin, put it inside the knot of your braid and use that to string it through to the other side of the bag. And if the knot's too big, you might have to pull it tighter or cut something to make it so that it fits inside that hole. And I just do this by scrunching it up and kind of pulling it through. Then this part is optional, but I wanted mine to have another kind of handle, and so I cut just another slit on the opposite side, and then I pulled out the braid through that side, and I decided I wanted a little bow, so I cut it in half, tied 2 knots, and then just decided to tie a bow on that side, and I did the same thing on the other side as well. And hopefully that all made sense. I'm sorry if it was a little confusing, but you can replay this if you need to, and once you're done with that part, your main bag is done. And now I'm just figuring out where I want the front to be and where I want my picture to be and what I want my picture to be of, and so I just found a picture online and I printed it out and made sure the sizing was right and just tried it on my bag just to make sure it all fit and everything. And once I was sure I liked it, I was ready to do the final copy, and this I did on the fabric transfer. And the transfer just looks like this, and when you're on your computer figuring out what you want, you make sure you have to flip the image or else it won't work and it'll just be backwards on your thing. So I'm starting by just very carefully cutting out my image, and do this very, very, very carefully because you don't want any mistakes. And then I'm laying out my bag and making sure it's flat, and then ironing it to make sure it's extra, extra flat and there aren't going to be any wrinkles. And can I just say, I am probably the worst person at ironing anything. and especially ironing on these transfers. And I don't recommend using the paper over it because the heat didn't go very well to the transfer, and so I just ended up taking the paper off and not using the paper at all because it didn't work very well. And this took probably about 20 to 30 minutes or even longer because I am so bad at this. And every 5 or so minutes you can check it. And once you think it's done, make sure to wait for it to cool and peel off the whole thing. And as you can see, I am so bad at this. There are all of these like wrinkles and things coming off, and it does not look good. So I decided to just go with it and try to make it look a little bit more distressed. So I started by kind of using my finger to scrape it and get some more of the color off. And I also used the iron to actually just very lightly iron it on, and it kind of stuck to the iron a little bit and got some more off, but I don't recommend doing this unless you're prepared to clean off the iron. Another way to get it more distressed is to stick it in the dryer, and the heat will make it stick together so that when you pull it apart, it'll look more cracks and wrinkly and stuff. So yeah, that's basically what I did, and then just make sure to clean it off, and I just used a wipe. And it pretty much got all of it off. So that's the end of this tutorial, and I hope you guys liked it. The bag's done and ready to use, and it's so cute, and you can even use this to store your PE clothes in, which is pretty cool. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Click one of these boxes to check out my latest videos, and don't forget to subscribe!